Hey guys, Michael Reynolds here again from Grobot. Just giving you a quick walkthrough of the platform as if you were getting started today. So over here in the top left, this will say nothing because this will have no account. You'll just click on it, hit add new LinkedIn account, get started. This is my regular login location. Depending on where you are, that could be different. For me, I use the New York time zone because that is EST. It's what I use. I would also recommend to set this from 9 to 1700. That is military time for 9 to 5. You can do 9 to 18, that doesn't hurt, but we like to keep it as 8 hours. The next step, you will put in your password and email. I said that backwards, by the way. I hope y'all caught that. And you'll hit next. As it goes through the next process, it will send you an email. The email is going to have a verification code that you'll have to put in. That is just basically LinkedIn saying, are you sure you want to trust this? And here's a verification code to do so. If you have a two-factor authentication app, or sometimes you could do it through the mobile app of LinkedIn. If you're using either of those, whatever the code is through either the mobile app or your third-party dual verification, just put in that passcode instead. That will work just fine because you won't get an email. Additionally, as you're putting in the code into your Grobot account, your picture will start to load in, etc. If you get LinkedIn challenged, you'll have to reach out to me via email, or if we're on the call, just let me know. Most of you should have my phone number, or some of you should have my phone number, so if you need to text me, that's fine too. Basically, LinkedIn challenge is just something I need to reach out to my devs to, and they'll fix it. Really fast, really easy. If you do get the email, you have about 10 to 15 minutes to use the pin that it sends you until that pin expires. It is slightly time sensitive, so I would just say to stay around your computer as you're trying to set this up, or make sure you have like at least 10 minutes. That's the basic stuff, so you're now on the platform. To create a campaign, all you'll do is come over here to the right, hit create campaign. You can do simple or smart. Smart is a bit complex. I would say if you'd like to learn that, I'd be more than happy to jump on a call with you. Purposes of simplicity, I'm going to talk to you about simple campaign. For basic things, this stuff doesn't matter unless you're targeting premium subscriptions only. If you want to move prospects or include prospects, that is essentially you doing a nurture campaign. This is people you've already reached out to or people you're first degree connections with. Then you're fine. At about 99% of the time, these are going to be off. This is where you're going to name your campaign. This is also where you're going to add your search. Additionally, depending on whether you're using the regular LinkedIn search criteria or a Sales Navigator, doesn't matter. Like I say before, we always recommend using Sales Navigator, but it's not necessary. As you go through, you'll make your list of people. Maybe I want to reach out to people in the United States, or clicked on the wrong one, in the United States. Oh my goodness. In the United States with second and third degree connections. Obviously, there's going to be way too many people, but you want to make your list down to about 2,500 people. Any more than that, and LinkedIn can't search. You'll copy that URL, come back to the platform, paste it, and hit add search. It'll pop up like this, and you can add as many as you'd like. Your first step to any campaign should be a connection request. Any steps that go in front of the connection request will hinder your connection request. The way the platform works, just put this first. You can use the action steps later in the campaign. I recommend using them around the third to fourth step. For this, you include your message, and sorry, my finger's swollen, so I can't type that well. Your next message should just be send message, and again, if you want to look at this, you can preview what they're going to see. I want to put a 3-day delay on that, save step. I like to put an hour delay. Sorry, I skipped over this a second ago. I like to put an hour delay on the first step just to give the system time. So it's the thing that I do. You do not have to do that. Now, this is where you can put the action request. So if you want to view the profile, like the last 3 posts, follow the profile, or endorse the top 5 skills, this is a place to do it. Additionally, if you want to send an email, if you're using our enrichment credits and you want to make it a part of your campaign, you have to include the enrichment step within the campaign. Now remember, you only have $250 a month unless you buy more, so just use that considerably, or consider that when you're making the campaign. because your next step would be sending an email, or it can be another LinkedIn. You don't have to do an email even if you use the enrichment credits, but it kind of kills the purpose if you don't. So you'll write out your email, whatever you want to say. Again, you can preview this. You'll see what they're going to see. You can select original thread, or you can use a new one, or creating a separate email. Additionally, you can keep adding these. There is no limit to how many steps you can have in a campaign. Typically, we like to make ours about 9 to 10 steps long until we have our real call to action. You can make it longer than that. That's totally fine. This is also where you would add your video. You'll just hit send a message, video, and you'll click on whichever video is yours that you want to use for said campaign. As we're going into our settings, if you are a new user who barely has ever used LinkedIn before, you're going to want to set your connection request to about 15 to 20, maybe even 10 to 20 if you've really never used LinkedIn before. The reason that is because if you jump from 0 to 100 really quick, it's just going to look weird. LinkedIn's going to flag you for spam. So we're going to slowly build you up by moving you up about 10 to 15 every week, depending on how much outreach you do in those weeks. Same thing for view profiles. You'll probably match that just under your connection requests, and your messages should sit at about 15 to 30 as well. You'll be perfectly safe there. Your emails, you can move up accordingly. If you want to move them up, you can. Most people don't use them, but if you want to, this is the place where you'll limit and throttle how many you send a day. InMails only applies to LinkedIn Premium members and Sales Navigator users if you want to use InMails. I am currently testing the InMails to see how much better they perform than non-InMail campaigns. If you have questions about that, just ask me. I'd be more than happy to share some with you of what I'm seeing. Your page is searched. You can leave that alone for the first 2 months. You slowly move this up as you move up your connection requests, but it's a lot easier to keep track of. This is also where you'll manage how many InMail credits you want to use a month. You can move it up to all 150. You can move to 0. You don't have to use these. Your account location. This is going back to setting up. If you set it up incorrectly, this is where you can change it. You can set up a proxy here. If you don't know what a proxy is, that's fine. It's basically just a way to say your computer's somewhere else. It's a simple way of thinking of it. The blacklist. If you want to not message current clients, competitors, you just type in their name. So maybe I don't want to message Troy Aikman. I don't even think he's on LinkedIn, but say I don't want to message him. I put his name in there. I hit enter. I'm never going to message the star quarterback. Your pending connection requests, I would make sure this is turned on. It is not turned on by default, and it's set to about 900. I would bring this down to about 700 to 800, as you don't want it to be too big, but 900 is perfectly fine. What this does is it adds every connection request that you send into a queue, and as that queue grows, the oldest ones get pushed further and further away. Once they reach, for example here, the 606th in line, it gets deleted or essentially pulled away from being out in the queue. That just helps LinkedIn see that you're not having a ton of outstanding connection requests. It just looks like you're spamming people at that point, and that's not our point of this platform. We don't want to spam people. Additionally, this is where you'll connect with anything. If you want to connect with any of your CRMs, we can work with any via Zapier, but we natively integrate with Pipedrive and HubSpot. Same thing for your email here. This is where you'll hit manage and you'll hit connect. You'll hit connect and you'll walk through the steps. It says that we are not a trusted source. You just have to hit advanced and trust. This is also where you will manage the auto warm-up feature. If you want to use it, it creates dialogue and sends emails back and forth, so your deliverability is increased on your emails. This is where if you don't have a CRM, we automatically have one in our system essentially. So our pipeline, you can move it around. I don't use it. I know a few people who do. You'll just add a stage and you'll add different stages and you'll be able to move each deal around accordingly. Your billing, this is just going to show you your credit card, like a quick information of credit card, how many enrichment credits you have. This is a quick little bell that'll just tell you if there's anything wrong with your account. So for me and Troy, for Michelle and Troy, they got limited It's completely normal. It just means that they send their max connection request for the day. This is where you'll click on user settings. So you'll get a quick view of your last name, first name, email, phone number. Said it backwards again. Company name, industry, location, etc. This is also where you can change your password for Grobot. This is also where you'll be able to see your workspace settings. So if you want to add your logo like we did here, you can do that, and you can name the workspace. So here in the top right, it'll have your name. Here for member access, if you have more than one person, this is where this is going to apply to you. So Colin, for example, is going to be my test subject. Colin, I have as a member, and I have his LinkedIn account access to only himself. So when he clicks up here, I'm an admin. I see everyone in my workspace. When Colin clicks on it, he only sees himself. He only sees his campaigns. And everyone else in here has the same admin privileges except for Colin. He's basically the test subject for this video. Additionally, this is where you can click on workspace settings, billing, and buying credits. As simple as that. If you have any more questions, feel free to email me. And I hope you guys have a great week.